Okay, so it is June the 17th, and I've actually been away, been in Edmonton for the last couple of weeks, and my son's been looking after the plants, and they are really pretty big now, I have to say. So even the ones that I was talking about that, you know, were supposed to be tall but aren't tall, just kind of grew bushy. Well, they're bushy, but now they're getting tall. So they're bushy and tall, which is a little bit different. And I just thought I would just do a quick video just to show you what I have, how the plants have developed. Always a good idea before I start taking them outside. Anyway, this is it. I have to say, considering that I had you know, I was off to a bad start. It was only a month. About a month behind. I think they actually did really well, so I'm pretty happy with how they developed. Okay, so here's our gazebo. We have a gazebo in our backyard, and I haven't put up a screen or anything as of yet. It's supposed to be a really beautiful week. It's supposed to go up into the 30s even, which is like high 80s, 90s, I believe. So these plants are I'm gonna really have to watch them, but not supposed to be any storms, at least as far as the forecast goes for this full week. But I'm gonna leave them in here. They won't. They'll get sun because the sun does rise over there and and sets over there. You can see it's very shaded, so they're not going to get like full intense sun, which is why I like to put the plants out here for a week. Every year I do this. But here they all are. Now it's completely indistinguishable because it just looks like one gigantic big bush. But I've pushed them all together for support. Just to make sure that in case there is a storm, I don't really have to worry too much. It should be fine. That's it for now. I do have 10 plants that I've got still inside, and I'm going to go down there and let you see what I've got. Basically the smallest or the ugliest plants that I wouldn't dare to give to somebody, and I certainly don't want to plant. So I will, I'm going to just keep them going all summer, all winter, and then next spring hopefully they'll be nice plants. And I'll probably do updates of them during the course of the year as well. Okay, so it is June the 30th, and last weekend I planted all my pepper plants, and I thought I'd just do a quick little video just to show you what I have here. They've gone through some shock, and of course the sun has been extremely hot. I mean, it's been like in the 90s, so I've had to water them a little more than usual, and they're showing some signs of distress, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. It's still early in the year, and I have to give them a nice dose of fertilizer, and then we'll see how things progress. I have 9 Peruviano Arancillo plants of varying heights. You see some of them have, you know, peppers on them already. In fact, there are flowers and peppers on most of them. So it's not like I just planted them and now I'm behind. I'm not, and actually the plants are much nicer than I thought they were going to wind up being. So, well, some of them are pretty small, but anyway, okay, so I have 9 Peruviano Arancillos, and I have 3 Bishop's Crowns, and then I have 5 Aji Huachapan plants, and they too have peppers on it. They're all very healthy and nice looking. Yeah, I mean, you can see I have them all staked up because you never know, right? I have 4 Fatale plants. Actually received these from a garden center that I go to all the time. It's where I get my tomato plants from, and I'm quite good friends with the owners, and I've given them seeds. I've mentioned this before. I've given them seeds. They've developed a really big hot pepper area, which was really small when I first started going there, and you know, a lot of the pepper plants that I grow, they grow too, and so they do give me plants when I go there. So here's the mystery plant. Very nice. I suspected it's 7-pod or Moruga or something. Wow, that sun is so bright. I'm just casting shadows all over everything. I can't even see what I'm looking at actually on this monitor. Here's my one Moruga plant. Trinidad Scorpion Moruga, which is I guess the hottest pepper that I'm growing. It was at one time the hottest pepper in the world. I believe anywhere from 1.5 million to 2 million Scoville units. Somebody mentioned. Here's my 7-pod Jonah. I have one, and I have 2 Buchlokius, also known as the ghost pepper. And yeah, the sun was so bright and hot. Even though I was protecting them in our gazebo, they still wound up getting some burnt. And then I have 3 Butch teas, which is another Trinidad Scorpion, I believe created by Butch Taylor, which is where that comes from. And yeah, I think that's somewhere around the 1 million Scoville unit. Okay, so I've got 2 hot paper lanterns, which are actually turning out to be bush plants instead of the normal tree-like plants that I'm used to, and a couple ahiumba, a very pleasant yellow pepper, which isn't really very hot, but is very sweet, very nice flavor. And 2 Pereira plants, and the Pereiras are very prolific, and not my favorite as far as the flavor goes, but they've got a nice heat to them, and you get lots of peppers, so if the heat is what you're looking for. Well, I mean, it's not like super hot, I'm not pretending that, but you do get a lot of peppers, that's for sure, and each pepper has lots of seeds. You know, it's usually develops pretty early. Not so really this year, but we'll see how these turn out. Anyway, so this is the way it is. I've got the Bacadum row in the back. Probably figured that out on your own. Excuse me. I've always thought that when it came down to it, I would be more interested in the Bacadum peppers than the Chinenses, but that's the way it's going to be, I think, because they're much nicer for eating than the peppers in the front here. Very interesting peppers, a lot of them. The ones in the back are going to be my go-to peppers because I always pick handfuls of them. They're all sweet in flavor, but they're not the typical like habanero flavor that you find so much, like the Trinidad Scorpion, the 7 pods. They all kind of have the same flavor to me, and that's how they all. There might be very subtle differences in them, but they're too subtle really for me. They just all taste pretty much the same. Where the Ahio Chapan, the Bishop's Crown, the Peruviano Arancillo, they have very specific citrusy flavors, but they're very, very sweet peppers and hot in a way. So you're going to find the Peruviano Arancillo have about the same heat level as a Cayenne or maybe a Serrano, something like that. And so too with the Bishop's Crown, about the same. That's what you're going to find. Where the Ahio Chapan doesn't get much hotter than jalapeno. So when I'm putting together the plants that I give away, I ended up growing 25 Peruviana Arancillo plants, which is how I wound up with 9, because you know, like I only have so many people I'm giving away to, and I can't give them more than 1 Peruviano Arancillo. It doesn't make any sense. But you know, these are examples of the ones. These are all that's left of what I have to give away, and these are to relatives, so I haven't got to them yet. And tomato plants, they need a good watering, but it's too hot to water right now. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks very much. I'll pick up a little bit later on. And just one quick little update on what I've done in the basement here. I've got the remaining plants, the smaller plants, potted up into 8-inch pots now, and new soil, and I've given them another dose of time release fertilizer, and actually, what is that? I do get asked sometimes about fertilizer that I use. When the plants are just in the growing phase, I use Shake and Feed Miracle Grow, because I like that it contains calcium, magnesium, sulfur. It's actually a pretty good slow release 9-4-12. It's really good for developing roots and growth. And I'm planning on leaving these here. I think this is lots of space for the roots to develop for the plants to grow, and I'll see what ends up happening. I do have flowers actually on this plant, and you know, if they're going to flower, they're going to flower. Maybe I'll even get some additional peppers here. I love to get peppers all winter actually, so I mean that would be a bonus if that happened. And I'll see what ends up happening with them. If they keep growing and developing, then I could have some beautiful tree-like plants for next spring. Anyway, wasted space down here otherwise. So that's it. And I'll post an update on my hot pepper garden probably in towards the end of August, beginning of September. Let's just see what's happened. Anyway, thanks very much for watching.